Hello. Happy Monday or Sunday night, depending on where you live around the world. I'm Susanna Mihailovic. This is day 8 of your Enlightened Mind. Welcome. I love Mondays. Mondays is my favorite day of the week. It never used to be when I was working, but every Monday morning and Monday evening, I have my live coaching call with my clients. And I don't know if any clients are watching, but boy, oh boy, what a session we had this morning, right? Yeah, we really got into that subconscious and the goal and moving through fear. So it was such a great session. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hello, Natalia. Hello, Wendy. Great to see you both. Just very quickly, if you're new, first time, we're talking about dream boards, just click the link above. And when you have a comment, I can see your comments come up. You might have questions. I'll be able to answer your questions because I can see, but it helps me know who's asking the question. Otherwise, on my end, it just comes up with Facebook user. So if you want me to be able to see your name, just click the link up there. I want to congratulate every single one of you that's been on this journey in the past 8 days. You're the people that keep coming back. And I know quite a few of you are watching the recording because some of you have found jobs and starting your jobs today. And, you know, some of you are in Perth and some of you are all over the world and you'll be watching the recording. But I want to acknowledge you because you are the people that made a decision and you said, right, I'm going to see this through and I'm going to commit to the most important person in the world. And that person is you. So congratulations, Natalia, Wendy, hello, Effie. Congratulations also to the people that have said yes to themselves and taken a jump to join Your Two Minds coaching program. I want to welcome Tristan Nakora, Maihi Nakora, Alvira Gianotto. So Tristan and Maihi are from Perth, Alvira from Adelaide, Wendy Milligan from Queensland, and Sindel Berry from Victoria, regional Victoria. Welcome you all. Welcome to the Your Two Minds community, Your Two Minds family. You are not going to recognize yourself by the end of this year if you show up every day for you. And for the rest of you, if you want to jump on board, it's not too late, okay? It's your only last opportunity to actually really, really, truly make a long-term difference to yourself and to your results and to your incredible life. So jump on board. Natalia will put the link in the comments. It's been an absolute honor catching up with all of you. And I love doing my work because every single one of you from the first time we met to now has said to me, Susanna, what a difference. How different do I feel? How many of you feel different after just 7 days of me and you and our community together? How many of you? What has changed? Are you loving yourself more? Are you loving your life more? Are you tapping into the infinite possibilities available to you? Let me know. I want to hear from you. So you're my champions. You've seen this through. Congratulations. How many of you have watched the interviews on the weekend? If you didn't get a chance to watch the interviews, please do so. Jo interviews, they were pre-recorded because Jo's not, she's away for this masterclass. So we've used the recording from a previous interview that our incredible team member Jo Wolf did with Holly Hudspeth from Florida. I've seen that interview, I reckon 20 times. Every single time I watch it, my God, I cry, I laugh. I'm just so proud. Please watch it because you're going to be inspired by Holly also. I promise you that. And then the Sunday interview with my community, some of my community members got together with Jo and shared some of their experiences and their growth and that they are just absolutely incredible. So these interviews are in the guide sections. Okay, the recordings from Your Enlightened Mind is in the guide section also. You've just got until the end of the week to watch them and rewatch them, and then we take them down. So just take advantage of this as much as you can, because we will take them down. But the interview recordings, everything is in the guide section above in the Facebook group. Okay, so who's ready to take on the world? Who's ready to take on the world? And how are you feeling after 7 days of us together? How are you all feeling? You must be feeling absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, so yes, Natalia says she is ready to take on the world. I hope it's not only Natalia, huh? After 7 days of working on you, it's only Natalia that's ready to take on the world. All right. So I have to reassess. I have to look back and say, all right, where can I improve? What can I do better? So, all right. So let's talk about dream boards. Let's talk about dream boards. Are you ready? Are you ready to really go a little bit deeper on dream boards? Of course, Angie is. You know, Angie, I've just got to share, Angie is the most dedicated, one of the most passionate members of the Your Two Minds community that I've ever come across. She does the work. She shows up at 3 o'clock in the morning every week. And this morning, we were talking about breaking through fear and what you need to actually break through. You know, those moments where you know you need to be doing something to move towards your goal, but your paradigm kicks in and you have to break through that anxiety, that fear to get to the other side. Well, Angie showed up with a helmet this morning, and she had the Your Two Minds logo on it. So that's her way of breaking through fear during the session, always bringing a smile to our face. And that was just absolutely wonderful. So let me ask you, do dream boards work? What do you think? Do dream boards really work? Tell me the truth. Tell me if you say yes, they work, or no, they don't. What do you believe? Do you believe dream boards really, really work? Give me a comment. I want to see where you're all at with dream boards. Do dream boards really, really work? So Natalia says, yes, I do, or yes, they do. Okay, Natalia, yes, they do work, Effie says. Yes, if you believe they do. Okay, all right. Anyone else? Yes. Hi, Nikki. I was thinking of you this morning. So lovely to have you with us. Nikki is just absolutely delightful. Wendy says, I've never done one. Okay, all right. So most people in this group believe that they work. Okay. Generally, when I speak to people, it's probably about half, maybe just over half that people believe dream boards work. The other, you know, just under half maybe usually say, nah, they don't work. I've had one, they don't work. What if you asked me? What do you think I would say? Would you think I'd say yes or no? Now, those of you that know me, don't answer this question. Would you think that I think that they work or they don't work? What do you think? Just have a guess. What would you think I think? Effie thinks that I think they'll work. Okay, all right. Anyone else want to have a go? Nikki says yes, she believes that I think that they'll work. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, okay? Yes, I believe they work, but yes, I believe they don't work either. Someone, Facebook user says, I had one and I enjoyed making it and liked the focus, but it didn't work for me. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Okay. Thank you. And so, and those of you that have said yes, okay, why haven't you achieved everything on your dream board? You see, I'll tell you a little bit about my story. And Facebook user, the person that said I had one, if you want to, you can click the link above and I'll be able to see your name. I'd love to see your name, but only if you feel comfortable doing that, okay? So I'll tell you my story. I've only ever had one dream board in my whole life, or one proper dream board. So I went out and bought canvas, you know, the artist canvas, and I painted it white and, you know, had magazine cuttings and all sorts of stuff that I wanted on there. I wrote some stuff on there and I put it on the wall directly opposite to my bed. So when I'd wake up in the morning, I would see it. Okay. And and I had it there for years and years and years and years. And 15 years after, 15 years after I had that dream board, everything but two things, everything but two things on that dream board have been realized. Okay. So I had a photo, and I drew, around the photo, I drew the cover of my first book, which was a bestseller. So that was on there. I had the relationship that was on there. I had the business that was on there, the money that I was making. I wrote that on there. I had all sorts of things, including this watch. I didn't even know. When I bought this watch, I got home and I put it on, and I'm like, oh my God, that was the exact watch. It even had the little diamonds. It's got diamonds around it, on it. Exact watch that was on my dream board, except the one on my dream board was white and I chose black. So did the dream board work for me? Absolutely it did. But why did I wait 15 years? It was 10 to 15 years that everything just came from that dream board that I had on the dream board back then. So I had my dream board on the wall for years and years. And then I put it under the bed. I thought, oh, this doesn't work. I've had enough of it. It's been there. Nothing on there came true. Relationships were just all over the place. So I thought, oh, whatever. I'll just put it under my bed. And then one day I was, cleaning out clutter, and I thought, oh, it's time to get rid of this. But then years after, I didn't have the dream board, and almost every single thing on there has been realized. So did it work? Yes. But do you really want to be waiting 15 years for your dream? And if you can do it in 15 years, can you do it in a year or two? And what happened to me that actually made it eventually work? You see, there's a few key things that I would suggest when you're doing a dream board. Now, do I have a dream board now? I don't. Not because I don't think it works, but I just have felt like I don't need one right now. Maybe I will have one in the near future, but at the moment, I don't. There's some other strategies that work for me. It doesn't mean that dream boards don't work, though. It doesn't mean that you should not do one if you feel like you want to do one. It does not mean that they're not powerful. Okay, just because I'm not doing one, it doesn't mean they're not, they're not worthwhile having. Okay, I want you to have one if it resonates with you, if you feel like you should have one. So dream boards work on a number of levels. Okay, first of all, they help you stay with the image in your mind of what you want. And the more you surround yourself with the images that you want, the more your mind starts to become one with the image. Okay, because we think in images, right? So we need an image of the thing that we want. Secondly, it reminds us of our goals and what we want when we have a dip. And everyone's going to have a dip. It's the law of rhythm. Okay, but also your paradigms will kick in. And we spoke about paradigms and the importance of changing your paradigm if you want anything in your life. So they help with the image to go deeper into your subconscious. Okay. And they help you stay focused. So will is very important in achieving your goal. So they help you as a reminder to stay focused and align with what you want. But what did I do? What was different to me in the 3 to 5 years that everything came together? And why and what have I learned looking back? You see, dream boards, what I've learned is dream boards work if you work them. So I had my dream board at the back, in front of me, would look at it every day, would see it there, last thing I went to bed, first thing in the morning, okay? And it became second nature to me. So the first month or so I had it there, I was excited. Look at this, look at that. I was adding to it. I was drawing things on top of the images. I would walk past the house that I wanted, all of that stuff. And then I started to take it for granted. So it just became another thing on the wall, right? Now, those images obviously went into my subconscious eventually, because some of the things that I've attracted were the exact replica of what was on the dream board, okay? The cover of my book was not a replica. It was very different, but it was interesting because the cover of my book had a photo of me and my grandmother when I was 4 years old, black and white photo. This was on my dream board. And I really needed to share her story, and that's why it was on the cover. And it's interesting because her story ended up in my first book and it became a bestseller, okay? So those images did go into my subconscious. But I wasn't emotionally involved with the dream board. So if you do want a dream board, and I'd actually encourage you to play with it, because they can be very powerful. And a lot of you said yes. And I think it was Effie. Effie said, I did one and I achieved all of it on my dream board. However, I haven't done one for a while. So it might be, and congratulations for achieving all of the things on your dream board, Effie. So now might be a time for you to do another one if you feel like that's the right thing, based on some of the ideas that I share with you. Okay. What I realized when the watch came, the partner came, the lifestyle came, the business, the incredible clients, and I think, any one of my clients here, Natalia, who's a team member, Angie, they would agree that the Your Two Minds community is the best community in the world. I attract some incredible people, including all of you here today. It is a community of support. There's no one in that community that is not supporting another person. It's not seeing them in their highest goal. It's absolutely incredible what you attract, okay? And I attracted you. I attracted all of you. We are meant to be on this path together. So what happened was, the 3 years after, right? So probably it wasn't a whole 5 years that everything came together. It was within 3 years. It's like bang, 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 all of these things, and most of them were on my dream board. So what happened was, I didn't only, during that time that things started to flow and come to me with ease and flow, okay? During that time, I not only became emotionally involved with my dream, but the dreams that I had on my dream board became me. The biggest mistake that people make when they have big dreams and big goals, the mansion or whatever, the house or whatever it is, the impossible for you. And I have learnt in my life, impossible does not exist. There's nothing that is impossible. Trust me, because many of the things on that board that I had were impossible for me. Okay? Right? You look at me now and you think it's all easy for her, but I was exactly where you are now. I just did the work. I invested in myself. I invested way over $100,000 in my personal growth. Okay. And I did the work. So any of you that are afraid of spending money and making a mistake, you are not going to win if you don't jump. You are not going to win if you don't jump. Okay. And I find that people that attend a free course like this one, you get so much out of it. I'm here to serve. I see every single one of you in your success, but I can't do it for you. I can't. Okay. And what we find is those that keep going to the free courses, what's going to happen is this week you're going to feel good, but by Friday, you're going to go back to life. It's going to be normal. And by next week, it's going to be the same old, okay? And we find that people that invest in themselves and say yes and jump, even though they're afraid, they're the ones that get the results. This is how important this is. So not only was I investing money in myself, okay, what I was doing is I brought the biggest lesson that I learned was my dream board is not out there. People think that their dream is out there, that they are separate from their dream. So when they have a dream board, they look at it like, oh, I have to do this. I have to have this. Or one day I will have that. I was saying one day I'll have that. And that one day came 15 years later. I don't want you to be waiting 15 years. Okay? Because when it is separate from you and when it is one day, your subconscious is thinking one day, not now, not today. And when it's separate from you, there is a subconscious feeling of, I'm not quite there yet, or I'm not quite good enough. Okay? But when you realize that everything is within you, every single thing is within you. So that means the watch, the book, the Bob Proctor. See the photo of Bob and I, friends, right? That was on the dream board. Okay, right? That starts to happen with ease and flow when you know that it's already inside you. When you know that you have the house already, that you and Bob are friends already, that the relationship is here already, and you let it go. Okay, you let it go. The biggest thing that separates you from your manifestation is thinking that it's too big, or you're like, I need this. I have to have it. I have to have it. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Because that energy creates a gap. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Okay. So as soon as you bring the relationship inside you, if it's the relationship that you want, and you feel the love, you feel loved when the partner is not there, when the money is, you feel affluent, even though the money is not there on the physical. You have the business already. You have the multiple sources of income already. Okay? You are merging energetically with the thing that you want. And you become the source of love. You don't need another person. You become the source of abundance. You don't need the abundance, right? Because when you become the source, when it becomes a part of you, it's there already. It's there already. And when it's there already and you've let go, you let go and let God, you know that it's there already. So you don't have to get into a, frantic energy about it. That's when it comes at the right time. That's when you are in a state of receivership. That is when you're in a state of a complete alignment of what it is that you want. So how do you get into that alignment? Well, I would absolutely encourage you, if you haven't signed up, you need to be working on those subconscious paradigms. If you haven't signed up for Your Two Minds program, jump on board today. Do not let this day go by without you making a commitment to yourself that the next 12 months are going to be the best 12 months of your life. And when you start doing your dream board, you make it a product of your love. You make it a part of you internally. It's not out there. I thought my dream board being in front of me was out there. The things that I wanted were out there. So I was imagining, I enjoyed imagining, I was striving to have them. You know, I was doing all that stuff until I just started to get bored and I just took it for granted. And then eventually it went under my bed and then it went in the bin. Okay? So, what do you want? The first question is, what do you want? And I would encourage you not to just do magazine clip. There's nothing wrong with magazines, okay? But I would encourage you to tap into the Michelangelo of you. You have a genius inside you, okay? You have the same genius inside you that was in Michelangelo. In fact, when he carved the statue of David, what did he say? He said that David was in the stone already. Okay, so the perfection already exists. He just had to carve around it. It wasn't hard. So he tapped into his own genius and knew that there was a statue in there already. He came from the place of being, of having already. Okay? What is your masterpiece going to be? What is the masterpiece of your life? You have to treat it as serious as that. You are creating your life. So get a canvas, if you like. Get some paints, get some crayons, get some textures. Get magazine cuttings if you want, you know, pictures out of a magazine. Draw your dream home. Take a photo of it. And add words. The more you can align yourself and your spirit with your creation on the dream board and know that it is already inside you, the easier the manifestation will be. I'm going to repeat that. The more you can align yourself with the dream board and what you've got in there, the easier the manifestation is. Now, your creation, you might not be an artist. Okay, you might think you don't know how to draw or how to draw the house that you want or whatever it is. Okay, now this is not about your creative, you know, your ability to draw or paint. It's about you using the creative force inside you. Everything comes from within and creating something on that canvas. Okay? But you have to feel one with the canvas, just like Michelangelo felt one with the statue of David, with his masterpieces. And every time you see your dream board, it has to be inside you, right? You're looking at it outside, but you know that everything you have on there, the relationship, the house, the car, okay? Everything on there is inside you already. And what happens is, because time does not exist to the subconscious, okay? So what happens is you are bringing your dream to the present moment, okay? You are living your dream now. And then what happens? Your subconscious starts to believe it is now, okay? So you are creating a canvas of a masterpiece that is your life. Take it that seriously. It comes from within, just like, you know, was it Van Gogh or one of the major, I think it was Van Gogh, but I could be wrong. One of the major artists back in the Renaissance period, so may have been Van Gogh, he said, what we see in his paintings, right, is actually a copy, because that painting lived inside him before it ever became a part of the canvas. So it must live inside you. This is how physics works too. This is how manifestation works too. It must live inside you first before you can experience it on the outside. And if you get in a state of, oh, when is it going to happen? When was it going to happen? Which was similar to what I was 15 years ago. It's probably never going to happen, or it will take you 10 to 15 years. You must live from it now. Feel like it is here now. Okay? And create something that you absolutely love. Absolutely love. What could be more important? What could be more lovable than your life and the impact that you want to make, or the dream that you want to have? You see, you are not here just to exist. You've heard that message over and over and over again. You are not here just to exist. You are greatness itself. Greatness lives within you. And you want to connect with that greatness, put it out on paper, knowing that it is in you already. That's the key. Once you've nailed that and worked on your paradigms, because nothing ever happens, okay? So you've heard my story. 1.5 years, I was friggin' working on my paradigms so strongly. I did not quit though. And then when I realized, and when my paradigms aligned with my goal, and I aligned energetically, knowing what I wanted from inside, it was already in me. The watch came. I didn't even know I had it on my dream board, right? The business partnership with Bob Proctor came. The best-selling book came, okay? The relationship came. The money came. The incredible community that I have dreamt of since I was a child came, okay? 2 absolutely critical parts. You don't change your paradigms and don't get help changing them, nothing's going to change. If the dream board does not become a part of you, it might take you 15 years. Okay? You have the power inside you to make everything that you want happen. I want you, boom. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who wrote boom, but yes, absolutely boom. Thank you very much. We can finish up here. That's it. That's all you need to know. Change your paradigm, get help changing it, and make sure your dream board is in you. But I'm going to give you some other things, because that's what I do, right? But if you need to leave, leave now, because that's all you need to know. And jump on board with the 12-month coaching program. Okay, you're going to need a friggin' satellite to look back at your life. Let's go a little bit deeper. I would like to invite you to play with this like you were a child. What do children do when they play? They are fully immersed in the fantasy. They are fully immersed in the moment. They are having fun, and it is so real. The fantasy is not a fantasy, it is real. I shared with you, I used to play, I was a lonely child. I had my brother was 4 years older than me, and, I just played with myself around the backyard and running around, and I used to pretend that I was a gymnast. And when I was doing those somersaults and everything in the grass, I heard the crowd roaring. I was the star. Okay, that's how you want to play with this, right? That's what you want too. Okay. Hi, Nicole. So good to see the incredible, amazing. Talk about an international leader, a successful businesswoman. That is the Nicole Chug. So good to have you here. Hi, Charu. Okay. Right. So you have to fully immerse yourself. So what I'd encourage you to do, I have pencil cases and pencil cases and, pencil cases of textures, crayons, pencils. Okay. I would encourage you to do the same. If you love painting, grab some paints. So what I do is I have a sketchbook. Now, I don't spend time every week in this sketchbook. There are months sometimes that go by. Okay. So it's just a clear sketchbook with clear pages. I might bring it to the session tomorrow, actually. We've just moved. So if I can find it, I will bring it to the session tomorrow to show you. And I'll do one extra session, one final session for you all where we sum everything up, make it a powerful ending, okay? So I have a sketchbook that I keep. I also have in that sketchbook coloured folders like this. How many of you have read the first chapter of my book, Your Two Minds? It's at the back of the workbook. So in there, I ask you to go to the future, to the end of your life, because we're all going to have an end of our life. Now, you might not like it. You might think, oh, it's a negative, whatever, but get real. I'm sorry. There's going to be a last day, a final breath that we're all going to take, as whether we like it or not. And that's really, really, really important for you to we all realize it, but to remember, because what are you going to feel your life between now and then? And if you don't stop and assess where you want to be, how you're going to look back on your life, you can easily take this life for granted and live every day as it is, and nothing ever changes. So in the first chapter of my book, which is at the back of your workbook, you get that for free. Everybody that's joined me will get the whole book for free, and Peggy McCall's book as a part of the package of joining the Your Two Minds program. But the chapter is at the back of the book. So I have divided, and I've asked you to look at your life. Okay. So in my sketchbook, I have coloured folders like this. And from time to time, when I'm inspired, I only do this from a place of inspiration, right? I don't force myself to do this because it's not creative. You want to be in a relaxed state. I grab magazines, I draw, whatever, and I just rip parts of magazines or whatever it is I'm looking at, and intuitively I put it in the folder that, for whatever reason, it belongs. It might be spirituality, it might be finances, it might be relationship, okay? And I just keep it there. I don't do anything with it. My sketchbook, a part of it has the magazine cutouts with writing around that, because to me, if you're not writing, right, what does writing do? So if you're just looking at images, that's great, that's fantastic, because you're using your imagination, you're letting it go deeper, and you're connecting to feeling, okay? But writing, when you're writing, what does writing do? It makes you think. It makes you think deeper. You're using emotion. So that motion is connecting to different parts of your brain, right? Okay. And as you're writing, you're thinking, you're feeling, you're creating an image. And what we know now about your brain is it's as plastic as ever. They used to say that only children have plasticity in their brain, okay? But that's not true. Your brain can change no matter what age you're at, okay? So what happens is, once you start thinking differently, the neural pathways in your brain start to prune and change, okay? But again, you need help to move past your paradigms. Don't think that just because you've attended a free course, you've got the answers and things are going to change. It's very, very unlikely that it's going to change. In my career, you can do this on your own. In my career of over 30 years, where I've helped thousands of people, or the company I represented and the team I worked with, hundreds and hundreds, and now in my business, thousands of people, okay, I have not met one person that has changed their paradigm on their own. So if you think you can get this information, there's a lot of information. I spoil you with information because I love sharing this, and I want you all to wake up. But if you think your life's going to change just out of this, okay, really think again, because your paradigms, do take that support and take longer for it to change. So in this sketchbook, I get my textures, my crayons, whatever it is, whatever I'm inspired to do, and I draw and I write. Okay. And if I feel like cutting something out of these onto the sketchbook, I glue it on. Okay. Now, this is why synchronicities do not exist. August, so Natalia, you weren't on my team then. Nicole would probably remember this because Nicole did my program and her team did my program probably about 2 years ago. August 2020 was the first time I ever ran a 7-day program like this for free. And it was called Your Opulent Self. Some of you have attended Your Opulent Self, but Nicole was at my very first one because some of her team members were there. And I'll never, ever forget, okay, I don't like PowerPoint presentations and all that. I use them sometimes if I feel they're going to be helpful, but I want to connect to energy, and I'm inspired to share with you based on what I am feeling, will help you. I think that's a much better way to get transformation. So I will never forget August 17, I was running this 7-day masterclass, right? And Nicole's team was there and so many other people were there. And, we ran it in the Millionaire Roundtable like we do now, first Your Opulent Self, and there was so much excitement. And I was inspired, listen to this carefully, I was inspired to get my sketchbook out. It was beside me then because, we've moved, so everything's everywhere now. And I took it out and I wanted to show them what I was doing. August 17, 2020. And I remember, and I wanted to show them, so I was showing them just these pictures. I'm not a great drawer, but drawing is also great, even though you can't draw, okay? Don't be afraid. This is your private thing. And I flicked the page and I had a mind map. And I had a mind map on one page. It was a mind map of how my life was then, okay? And in the center, I can't remember what it said, but it had things like I'm depressed, anxiety, not knowing how I'm going to survive, money was an issue, all the things that I had been experiencing. Then on the other side, now remember, I did not plan this. I was just inspired. Intuition suggested that I bring my sketchbook out to show the participants of this masterclass. And then the next page was how I wanted my situation to be. So I wanted this international business, blah, blah, multiple sources of income, blah, blah, blah. And I looked down and I said, oh my God, every single thing on that page had come true but one thing. Every single thing. And when I looked on the date, it was 17th of August, 2017. The exact same date 3 years before. Okay? The exact same date. Now, was that a synchronicity or what? Does that show you that there's a greater power inside you? Doesn't that show you that you can tap into this power? And what I had on the other page, how I wanted it to be, was impossible. It was absolutely impossible. Crazy things like replacing my income in a month and then it was replaced in a week, right? Just crazy things that if you told a normal person, I'm going to do this, they think you're freaking crazy. I'm going to do it in 3 years. They're going to think, well, you're totally crazy. Okay. So yes, do dream boards work? That wasn't a dream board. That was a sketchbook, but it had my dreams in there. But you must invest in yourself, time and money. Nothing happens without a time and money investment. Something happens to a person when they say yes to themselves, even though they're scared. Energetically, that transaction in their mind has already been made. Energetically, they're saying, that's it, this is done, even though you're scared. Okay? And then you commit to doing what it takes to change your paradigm. So it took me a year and a half, right? You don't have to have a year and a half. I didn't have me. You've got me. Okay? And make sure you are in a state of play. That's why I say get crayons out. You know, a child drawing and painting, they're just free flowing. The energy that you put into that page, the energy that you put into your dream board is the energy that you're going to bring back to you. So you might want to have a sketchbook with your folders, collect pictures, photos, whatever, stick them in there. And I will show you what I've done if I can find it. It is somewhere in my boxes that I haven't unpacked yet, but I will promise you that I will definitely have a look at it, okay? And I'll bring it so you can see what I've done, okay? The more you can get into that relaxed state, the more you can get into ease and flow, the more you'll bring it to you, okay? So the key points from this session are, and we've gone a little bit over time, so the key points from this session are, well, yes, dream boards work if you have a dream board, if you do it properly, okay? So what is properly? Well, the dream board can't be out there, it can't be separate to you. It must be aligned. You must feel like you've got it already. You must feel those feelings, okay? It must come from within you. It must come from a pure state of love. And you are living it now. And you are working on changing your subconscious programming. Doesn't have to take you as long as me. You've got me. I've got the experience. I remember one of Nicole's, sorry, Nicole, I've put you up on the screen because I love what you've said, but I remember one of Nicole's teammates that she introduced me to. This was January 2019 or 2020. I can't quite, I think it was 2020 actually, because it was before COVID. Tina might be watching. Hi, Tina, if you're watching. She joined early January, did not know how she was going to get the money. Okay, she said, look, you know, I don't know how I'm going to do this. This is my situation. She was a businesswoman herself, 13 years in business, okay? And I believe she joined January 7th, if I'm not wrong, but it was the first week of January, okay? She was very scared, but she knew she had to do this. And her dream was to have her big white house, her car, and she wanted her business to skyrocket. She's in the bridal and candle making, does all sorts of things. She's absolutely incredible. In February, so it was early February, she sends me a message. I have to find that message actually, and says, oh my God, I've been in business for 13 years. She said, January has always been a quiet month. She said, I cannot believe what has happened in the past 3 weeks. My profits were 4 times the profit that I've had in any month. And January is always a quiet month. Okay, so this is what happens when you actually open up. This is what happens when you make a decision. This is what happens when you say, stuff this, I'm going to do it, I'm going to find a way. And then the challenge of COVID came up, and then she just kept moving. And by the end of the year, she had her house, she had her car, and her business is booming now, even though it went through lockdowns and all sorts of things. Okay, the power is always within you. The dream board is not out there, it's within you. You do this once and it's powerful. I did that mind map with my current situation, 17th of August 2017, and then the next page, how I wanted my situation. I did that once. I forgot that it was in there. It was just by coincidence when intuition said, show everybody in your opulent self what you've done, that I realized it was on the 17th of August, that I realized I had done that, and that I realized that every single one of my dreams came true. You are absolutely worth it. Whether you believe it or not, you are worth it. And your dream is here because you are meant to have it. Okay? You want to be an international coach, you can have it. You want to have your dream home, you can have it. The relationship you want, you can have it. But none of that is separate from you. Not one. And nothing ever happens unless you jump. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for our final session. I promise you I will have a look for that sketchbook. okay? And please check in. If you have any questions, please send them to Natalia. I think we've only got 1 or 2 spaces left for one-on-ones. We're not doing any more one-on-ones unless you're a client after tomorrow. So make sure you've got your session booked in. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.